Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Representative Jasmine Crockett is, we talked about her before. We know she's a Democrat, but like I always tell people that whether you're Democrat or Republican doesn't bother me. You're still part of the community. And if you're saying something that maybe I need to harp on or talk about, or add to, I will. So Jasmine Crockett is kind of, speaking on some frustration a little bit. And this frustration that she has is something that a lot of FBAs have felt in America, definitely dealing with the folks. But I want to kind of follow up behind her because, I can relate to what she says, but that relation also helped with my motivation. Let's go check this out.
I am tired of the white tears. Listen, if you are competent, you are not concerned. When I walk into Congress every single day, you know why I don't feel a way and why you can't make me doubt who I am is because I know that I had to work 10 times as hard as they did just to get into the seat. When you look and you compare me to Marjorie Taylor Greene or me to Lauren Boebert, there is no comparison. And that is the life that we have always lived. So the only people that are crying are the mediocre white boys that have been beaten out by people that historically have had to work so much harder. This is why they don't want us to have education. This is why they are trying to literally say we won't fund the HBCUs, because they know that if they've already gone after affirmative action and they're saying, you know what, don't allow them to come into, say, these PWIs, as we call them, don't allow them to come into these institutions. We know why they created the HBCUs in the first place. It was because they wouldn't allow us into the white institutions. And so now they're not allowing us in. And now they're saying, we're also going to defund the HBCUs. You know why? Because they don't want any more Kamala Harrises. They don't want any more Jasmine Crockett's. But I got news for them. I don't care what they do. We will fight to the end to make sure that we get our due. Because again, if you want to talk about the people that shouldn't be in this country, you probably need to look in the mirror, because the last time I checked, the Native Americans who some of ICE have been rounding up, or the Puerto Ricans who are absolutely Americans, listen, the only people that came and colonized this place are your ancestors, Trump.
Right. So sister girl Jasmine Crockett, she's doing what she do. But let me focus on something she talked about here. And when she talked about how in Congress she's basically overqualified than Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert or any of them in there. And I know that to be true, that she's well overqualified, more accomplished than a lot of them. Because even in the workforce, that's how it is just for black people. We always have to be 10 times better than them just to get a job at entry level. You understand? So if you get to the point that you're in Congress and different things like that, senator, if you're a black senator, you have to be 10 times better than them. It's just bottom line. That's been the story of black Americans forever. But what I was saying earlier, so when I was working in the petrochemical industry, I was like, man, I would like to, maybe eventually one day become a plant manager, right? Plant managers, very, very good salary, definitely, almost mid, some places, maybe $300,000 a year to be a plant manager. The longer you're there, the more you make. And it's, I don't want to just be an operator, but it don't matter how much you learn. You can see other black people that's been doing it longer than you, way better than you, know they're extremely smart, and they can't even hardly move up in these companies, right? But you'll literally see one of the males in their community, dumb as a box of rocks, not the hardest worker at all, not the smartest worker at all. And they will literally give him positions just because, right? That can frustrate you as a black person. And I'm pretty sure whatever profession a lot of you have been in, you've seen these things. And a person like myself was like, look, I know this is a good paying job. Don't get me wrong. Petrochemical is a good paying job, but I don't want to be coming here working the way I have to work all my life. I'll say, you know what? That's when I started at the time years ago, I started doing YouTube. And I say, you know what? I'm going to see where this goes. And with time, I got, I was still working my petrochemical job, and then I was building up my platform. And of course, it went from just having a YouTube channel to actually creating a company and And then the rest is history, right? What we've done over the years. And now I'm not in the petrochemical, industry at all. I'm done, retired out of that. And I'm just in my company now. And if I would have not took that step, I would be having the same complaints today that Jasmine Crockett is complaining about. And what I want to say to a lot of our people is extremely frustrating. When you're extremely talented, you're extremely educated, you know that business like the back of your hand, and you're always being looked over, passed over for mediocre people, mediocre in knowledge, getting more money and more pay than you. That's frustrating. And I guess I was a brother that say, I can't see that all my life. I gotta be the captain of my own ship. And we just ride it out how we ride it out. As long as you are participating in their system, unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with that. So the only freedom that I've learned that you can have as a black person is create your, if you're a school teacher and you have a dream of having your own school, create it. If you are a person that is working whatever industry, if you work in the medical industry, right? You see lanes open, create a business there. Figure out a way where you can create your own. You will be happier. You'll love to get up and go do your job because no one is treating you bad. Let me tell you something. A lot of times black people also have a hard time excelling because you're dealing with so much microaggressions, anti-black racism on the job, and that affects you. Like, anti-black racism affects our overall health, physical health, mental health. It do. And I can tell you from personal experience, when you get out of those folks' job and you work for yourself, listen, I've had many FBAs testify to me, even black immigrants testify to me, that when they start working for them folks and they start working for themselves, or they work with a black-owned company, it's completely black-owned. I mean, like black-owned, black-ran, black-managed. All three, right? They don't have those issues and problems. Either they work with a company owned by black people or own their own stuff. Like all of the people that work with me, I don't treat them like the folks treat them. No. I mean, we have a lot of people here that have different styles, different whatever. And I'm not trying to have everybody cookie cutter or, well, I don't like natural hair. I don't like, no. They try to break down the women. They want to break down the men. It's just oppressive. So Jasmine talking about Trump and them and all that. Of course, these people are immigrants. All the folks are immigrants. All of them. They are the true immigrant. We not an immigrant, but they are. A lot of them are. A lot of them came in here in the late 1800s or 1910s, 20s, 30s, and 40s. A lot of them immigrated here. A lot of them. You ask them, where your people from? They know. Oh, they from Italy. Oh, they from Germany. Oh, they from Britain. Oh, they know where they family from. They know. We don't know off the back of our hand where our people originally came from, right? That's why we restarted here. And everything we've done, we built our life up here. And we the foundation of this country. But most of the folks that came here, they're immigrants. So she's right, because Trump's parents did come here as immigrants. She's right. You understand what I'm saying? But in 2025, find a way that you can get from underneath the folks. Maybe maybe it's not even a business you need to create. Maybe you're an author and you write with a pen name. You ain't got to use your name. Write books. You know how much money you can make on Amazon writing books? You can make a lot of money. There's so many different things that you can do while you're still working your job. Because I still say work your job and still do your other things, right? Do that. Man, you may be writing a book every other month. And if your stuff is selling or whatever, man, you're making that Amazon check every month. Trust me, I haven't I got to get on the ball by my book for this year, and I'm still getting checks coming in from Amazon. Not the biggest as it would be if I wrote a new book, but I'll still get some. Even from my first book that I wrote back in 2018, 2019. So there's still some money coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Do that. And I was still in petrochemical when I wrote those books. I was still working petrochemical. So don't let these people get you down, man. You overqualified. You know, you just too qualified for them. That's why you got to move away and do your own thing. That's why I want FBAs to delineate. We need to delineate from the folks too. Delineate from them. Delineate from their society, their way of doing things, their attitudes, everything. Delineate from them too. Because if you want to delineate from people in the diaspora and maybe other groups, but you haven't really delineated from them. That's the final frontier for a lot of you. Delineate from them. Because trust me, you're going to